we decided to re-record our Geek Speak today because there was
We
a
had
lot of
audio
we
issues.
had massive audio issues. And this list, we're going to start using it as our optimization list for people to do when doing Google Ads. So we teach Google Ads, so we thought, we do a step-by-step thing, and both of us do different things, and yet we do a lot of things inside Google Ads to optimize an account. So we're going to go through some of the process. And I think this list, the 11 best practices for optimizing Google Ads campaigns. I think it should be Google Ads campaigns. Oopsie. Hold on, I can fix that. Should we stop and
I don't.
start?
I don't think
And
that's the highest priority for this exact moment. But
uh, yes, it is.
so I'd say starting off with it while you're focused on that, I'm going to say that the first thing we want to be looking at is the account running. That's whether it's a payment issue or a policy issue, which you can check in tools and settings, and then the second most right column is going to have policy manager, and that's going to be super important to just is the campaign running at all.
Yeah, and it's funny when I hear you say policy manager, because I'm like, what? Why would you even need to check that? And it's because there are lots of policy violations that can happen. And would you check it every time you logged in, or would you check it monthly?
I check it monthly. It's not really mostly what you're doing is you're just checking so that if all the campaigns and the payments good, like everything looks active but no ads are running, then that's where I would go check first to
Mm.
go figure out why things are not running because and also it's all automated as well. So like you can get flagged for we've seen it with malware for a jewelry
Mm.
company and we had to go in and prove that we didn't have anything. It was a big pain to go and do. So it's definitely one where you
We
should
get
check.
limited, which is a penalty issue
Yeah,
for
yeah,
housing, for real estate,
yeah.
uh, for
We,
certain things in Google Ads. Yeah, you can get flagged for different things, and all you have to do is adjust things because it's a computer reading the material. And so you have to work with the program. It's a program that you're putting information in and making sure the right information is coming out so you can do what you need, they can do, the machines do what they need. It's quite interesting. But I think that's the first one. So log in. It's the beginning of the month. That's what you're going to check. You probably also want to check your contact page then, but that's further down the list.
yes,
Yes.
that was going to be our number two was making sure that there's going to be number two that after you everything's running is to make sure that the conversions are working because there's no point in sending all this traffic if it's not counting the conversions because Google has gotten significantly better at tying whoever converts and finding more of those people in the Facebook model. They've done a better job of doing the enhanced conversions and all that.
It's, yeah, so you want to, and checking conversions because Google will, out of the box, do things like what one of the things we saw today is YouTube.
Oh,
Why is YouTube subscriber a primary action? Primary meaning I consider it a conversion action where it means something of value to my business when it happens, like when I get a phone call or a form
make a
filled out on my
purchase.
website, a lead. So I don't think it means a subscriber unless you want to pay for subscribers in that manner, which is just getting your content further in front of people on YouTube.
Yeah, it kind of splits into the average. Like the primary ones are going to be things that are like direct money producing
Yeah.
activities, like purchase
If
e-commerce purchases and forms getting filled out, people like getting a hold of you to hire you for your services. And then secondary is going to be like any engagement, like YouTube, people visiting the website. Like while important, it is not the thing that's going to move the needle for your business.
secondary action, and that could be part of a wider branding campaign of sorts, or I would just want it to be specific when it's specific. So I would want to be choosing my ad and using YouTube ads to promote that way. But okay, so oh yes, we didn't mention when we started this optimizing Google Ads, there's different types of campaigns,
Yeah.
which we have to focus on. And when I say different types of campaigns, there's display advertising, there's search, the text ads, there's YouTube, there's shopping ads, right? There's a lot of different types of ads. So we're talking about, this is mainly about the regular text ads, which are one of the fundamental components to Google Ads. And the other thing we have to mention is that you optimize an account, and you also optimize a campaign. So each campaign inside your account will have to be optimized, but the whole account is also optimized. And that's to mainly save you money and make sure Google's not stealing from you.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of these principles as well that come from search campaigns will also be beneficial for any type of campaign. They usually wind up being good across the board best practices.
Brand campaigns, I mean, it's funny because I used to be like, should you or shouldn't you? And yes, you should. But we can talk about that on another occasion. Let's keep going down our list now that I've brought us back. So the next thing we would do is, so what have we done? We made sure our account's running. We've checked the policy manager. We've checked conversions are done and they're working. And then we would break down what we're looking at: campaign, ad group, ads, right? Like we want to see what is converting so we can make this. We don't want to turn off a keyword that's converting. Or if they get a lot of conversions and one's really expensive, then maybe. But we want to see, okay, where are we focusing our attention? Because you can spend hours working on accounts, like hours. It's not. And so what you want to do when you're optimizing an account is go in every couple days, look at things, make slight adjustments, and then take notes about what you're going to do in your hour or two segment that you're working on the account, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of work in it.
Yeah, I think that, and you want to start you should start at the top and work your way all the way down.
And if you're visiting all the time, you'll be able to touch on all the things, because there's lots of things to optimize. I think that's one of the hardest parts of the job, is letting people know how much there is to actually do to stay on top of this and to get it. Okay, so then we have the breakdown. So you're comparing the converting things, right? Or looking at what's converting, whether it be the keywords, the campaigns, the ad groups, like where's the money being spent and what's happening in the account. Because you're going to want to your job is to try to get more conversions at a lower cost over time.
And to make sure that every dollar that could be spent on getting that conversion is. So if there's maybe one campaign that's getting a lot of clicks but no conversions, that might be one you want to take budget away from to get it to one that has fewer clicks, but those clicks convert at a much better rate. Then that's one where you want to look at where are the clicks, because you only get charged when the clicks happen, not the conversions. So you want to see, hey, we want to put more of our budget into this one and take it away from this other one that's just eating everything up and not producing.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And so as we go down the list, one of our favorites that we use most often, and I find really it's the most fascinating, really, is the search term report.
Yeah, it's definitely, because that's where the rubber meets the road, where it's not just things where you think of your business. It's actually the feedback that like people are finding the keywords that you're bidding on are triggered by these sets of words, and that's from your actual customers. So especially if they're converting search terms, then that's something you want to pay attention to, because they might word it slightly differently than you.
Yeah. And you can find there's so many juicy little things inside the search term report, whether it be using it as a negative to get rid of keywords that you don't want to show up for, because Google's you're bidding on keywords. Google wants you to get conversions, but they also want you to show up for as many searches as possible, because then more people will click on it, you'll pay more, but you'll get what you need, so you'll keep doing what they need. And so it all works together. And so you have to narrow inside the campaign, and the negative search terms, like, or changing search terms into negatives, is a really, I think, a really great strategy, because you get so much content through that.
Yeah, and I also think that as Google gets a little looser and looser every year with what counts as an exact match and what counts as broad, how broad is broad,
I had to try to
that you're
explain that today. How narrow is exact? Like, how,
and
what
it's
does it mean?
exact-ish is the best way I would describe it.
Maybe
They
exact.
play
It's
fast
a
and loose with
maybe.
them.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think we all complain about this. I got to go follow up on my Google Ads people I follow, because I like them. They talk about this stuff. It makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, and the other thing about the search terms is I think of it, and we'll get into this with how you can utilize them. Is you can do, it's like casting the net. You know when you see those fishermen when they cast like a
Mm,
huge net, and it's like they bring it in and then they let it out a little bit to make sure they're catching everyone. It's almost like that where you can expand it out by finding new search words, and you might like your campaigns are getting a little stale, so you can go into the search term report, maybe add some of them, and then see what that brings back, and then you're negative out
yeah.
some things, so you're reeling it back in, and so it's a
Yeah. I couldn't
push.
have said it any better. That's just, yeah. The it's it's fun. It can be a lot of fun when it works well. Because you're making money for your clients, and that is good. But it does sometimes change in there, and you have to move fast and know what you're doing and keep being willing to learn, because it is, I think it's a lot about talking about strategy with people, looking at accounts. I don't think enough energy is, like, you have to understand an account like almost intimately, right, to do the right things, and have, so you need to get debriefed about the client, or what it's all about, what the account's all about, what is the client trying to achieve, what are you trying
Yeah,
to achieve.
and the client could want something. We have some clients that they just wanted phone calls. They don't want forms filled out. They wanted phone calls. That was their biggest. We had other ones that are like, we don't want to ever pick up the phone ever. All I want is people filling out forms. I can respond to them
Yeah,
via email. It's super easy to batch it and send out a bunch of emails. So it may be even in the same industry, and you have to really know your client and what they want out of their, what counts as a conversion to them. What is the thing that's going to be the easiest for them and best for them?
yes. And yeah, so it is a lot of work. The search term report will teach you a lot about that, right? About their business. And so one of the important things is to have that communication and dialogue between what you're seeing and what they think, because it's their business. They're going to know it better than yours, even if you're not afraid to ask. It's really important, because you really do learn more about the accounts and things like that.
Yeah,
There's,
it could also be there be maybe some subtlety in it about uh, we don't rent. We set up projection mapping for you. We don't sell you the projection machine.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So like
Uh,
little subtlety in that may not come across, but the client tells
yeah.
you, hey, I'm getting a lot of requests for this, and then they can give you feedback, and so you can go through and be like, oh, okay, so we need to make it more explicit.
That reminds me of my first, one of my our first experiences, and we were doing Google Ads for a trucking company, and the they they moved things, furniture, and they ended up getting a lot of calls for, like, people delivering booze. And so we had to go into figure out which term was triggering this outcome, because they did not want phone calls for alcohol services. So we went into the search term report, and the search term report was not as beautiful, or as well. It's there's a lot of terms in there. You can spend a lot of time in there. You do have to jump away, Make sure you're looking at impressions before you because some things you don't have to pay that much attention. You just have to, because sometimes you're not going to do anything with those words. But it's the keywords you find and the keywords you need to negative out that's important. And so you do have to be looking at them constantly because a lot come in.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say that building off of that, once you've added them in, you need to make sure that they have a good quality score for the individual keywords, because
Mm,
quality scores are let you know it's Google will show your ad more often the higher the quality score is. And so you want to improve that. And they're also giving you hints, right? It's a lot of like similar to their SEO algorithm updates. Most of the time, they don't just like wildly swing. It's that, hey, your site should be secure, it should be accessible, it should run
mm,
fast, like all these things that actually improve your website overall. And it's similar with the quality score, where is your landing page good? Is the ad actually relevant? What you've written in the ad for the keyword that you're bidding on. So like all these things kind of work together where they actually want you to do better because it does improve their experience, right? They don't want to show ads that are like that don't make sense for it, right? Because that's what they're expecting. And so it's one of the things where they do actually align incentives a little bit.
yeah. Yeah. Did you hear that? I got a message. I was like, ding,
I did
ding,
not hear that.
pay attention over there. Yeah. So I just got totally distracted for no reason. I need to turn that off. My goodness. Okay. So we were optimizing for quality score and why it's important. And yes, you are so right. I it's a hard one to explain to people, but it's something you need to work through. And Google
Yeah.
doesn't, they give you a score, you try to fix what they're saying is wrong. And then from there, you want I saw the ads I uploaded, and because they weren't great ads, it said they were poor. I was very upset about that. I have to check why. I think it's because I might have pinned something.
Oh, yeah. If you pin
Maybe.
anyone in the responsive search ads, they get really mad about that. They're like, "Oh,
Mm.
it's poor quality now." Because
I have to go do ads. I have to go and build some stellar ads. And I did, it was interesting because of the client call today. I had to kind of, they're interested in the Google ads. And because we teach, I take them through the things we've done, which is pretty interesting. And yeah. But if people want to know, they want to know. So I'll tell them. And yeah, we didn't even get to quality score, right? But it was just the beginning. It was just the beginning and all about strategy.
yeah.
So
Well,
we
and
got, oh, go on.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just excited about the fact that it matches to this kind of. I like the next one. Are we moving on from quality score?
Yep, yep.
I do. It is important and something that stresses me out only slightly. It's in. I think the auto apply. This is a good one to con.
Yeah,
I do check every time I go in.
it's because this is one of those times where Google's actually been quite bad about their advice because they've been very like, oh, it's going to be opt out. Oh, actually, it's opt in, and they've been shuffling back and forth. And obviously, if they had it their way and they didn't get a bunch of pushback, they would just do like it's opt out, like you're by
You'd see
default.
nothing and have to pay a bunch of money, and you'd get leads sometimes.
Yeah, or they tell you, yeah, you got a bunch of leads, and you're like, I did, and then
And then you
so
have to
yeah,
either go fix conversions or find out where the break is in the line, right? Because our client's not getting the leads into their inbox. So if that's the case, you create a Google Sheet and then you make sure it shows up there. So now there's two places to check. And that's how you make sure that you're getting what you're paying for. But so
and
you're,
also
oh,
anytime, sorry, just to build on that, is that anytime you do have a form that someone's going to fill out, you should have a database or some sort of storage just in case on the website inside of their system because we've had a break. Emails are the email system is incredibly old protocol and it does not have backups. If the email doesn't fire, then it's lost to the ether.
yeah.
And you want to have a Google Sheet sorry, I'm just making this very explicit that you want to store these ones somewhere that you can check. And then also, it's very important when you have those that later on you can tell the client, hey, check off the ones that you really liked. We're going to use those emails to make audiences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, it's so true.
because,
And that is very important.
yeah.
Because and the retargeting, which is going to get more interesting, like with Google. Oh, there's so much going on with, which is exciting. I will admit I am excited, although sometimes stressed out, super excited about GA4 and collecting the information you need to do the retargeting and being able to do retargeting based on where a person is in a journey. If they've watched a full video or a half video, or just
Yeah.
tracking the process to help the likelihood that you'll get to connect more and potentially do business, which,
Yeah.
which is the whole goal. So the other thing is, besides all the auto apply and the recommendations tab, I will say, because clients do look at that, and because our
Oh, yeah.
clients
It's,
are in their accounts, because I think they should be. I know
yeah.
many agencies do it differently than we do, and I know sometimes we might get shafted because of what we do in giving access, but it's not our account. And like, I figure why it shouldn't matter. Although
And
I have learned
transparent.
though that you can give people too much control and power, and then they help you break an account, and
Yeah. We've definitely had that, but it's better to be transparent with clients about,
mm,
hey, this is what we're doing. You want to take a
don't make
look? Like,
breaking changes, don't request breaking changes, and this is why. You know what? It's very similar to when somebody comes to you and they're like, I want to try Google Ads for a month. And you're like, well, that won't work. And if it's an existing account and like all the things, there's just things you end up having to say no to at a certain point in time because you know
or
it won't be successful.
or they don't want to pay for doing like a full conversion measure setup so that we're tracking everything
Oh, I've seen
correctly.
that.
They
Yeah.
don't want to pay for that. They still want you to run the ad. That should be a red flag for you. And it's saying, if I can't measure my success, then what are
Yeah.
we doing?
Yeah.
You need
And
to tell them like, I can do this, but then you're going to be wasting your money. Everyone's going to leave frustrated if we don't like measure things correctly and report on things correctly with that Looker Studio. There's all
tell people
these
that
things.
these things do break at times.
Yeah.
You have to fix them, and things change. And Google is changing things, like they are jumping from how we track conversions linearly, if our choices, and making it an auto
Uh,
filtering of how we view the conversions.
Yeah, and they also, I guess, also on this auto apply, similar to this, is that the attribution model you want to check. This also goes back to the conversions, is that Google by default now goes with data driven,
Mm,
which is doesn't mean anything, because it's like it's data driven.
that's yeah. That's so you have. So I think I want to take actually a little bit more control off. I like the options of having a system run a type of ad or a type of campaign, but then definitely having others that have a lot, like that are mostly manual. I think
Yeah.
that to me screams smart at this point in time, anyway, it's because this is things are slowly changing, quickly changing, slowly changing, right? And
Yeah.
although, so we're just helping run the machine, you do want some control to see what's going on to make sure you're making the right decisions so you're not just wildly spending.
Well,
So
and
I agree with
also,
you about looking at the attribution model of the conversion tracking. Now, let me just say though, that's pretty deep. That is deep.
yeah.
And so you would look at that maybe quarterly.
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
this is one where when I'm talking about
I,
attribution modeling, what I'm trying to do is give you as much light as to what's actually going on and not having Google with, oh no, you totally got like half a conversion on this. And can they see where you got that from? And then no. So like that's where I don't like Google automating too much of it. I like to be able to
mm,
see what's going on and see how everything is flowing, because I need to be able to tell the client, oh, actually this first step is actually working out really well, but we're missing them at this point here. We need to do something about it there, and that's a way you can communicate to the client that you see the full like run of someone first point of contact to fully converting, and you can see all the steps they took along the way, and there might be something that they didn't even know. Don't do the proper modeling about how, or proper flow and looking at that. If you've got a bit of a black box in the middle, that doesn't help you.
I think that Google Ads and SEO really does feel like a black box to a lot of people a lot of the time, and they hear a lot of different things to do. And yes, you should be doing them all. But you also need to learn to read it, go look inside the black box, and where the black box's content is in analytics, in Google Search Console, in Data Studio, or whatever measuring tool you're looking at, and playing around in there. I think that's really important. So when you are optimizing, it is good. We should have added this. You should have your Data Studio open, just going into the Google Ads accounts, looking at a Data Studio, and looking at them both together is really interesting because you can see things quickly and you'll figure out where you want to be. The Looker Studio is a great place to, it's like Lego for analytics. Yeah. That's how I
Yeah,
like to.
it's data
It's beautiful.
visualization.
Yeah.
And the part that makes it really good is I don't take it as 100% perfect. What I do is I use it as like a proxy, an easy way for the client to take a look. We report on here's what this month looks like, here's what happened, and then we might find something like, oh, this campaign didn't really perform compared to last month. Oh,
Mm,
that would be an indication that we should go into the ads account, and then that would be the person which account to
yeah.
go focus on because it was performing. Now it's not. Why is that?
Yeah.
And
Is
then
it the
we
whole
pick it up.
account? Are they cyclical? Lots of businesses are cyclical, even if they are e-commerce. Retail businesses are slower in January, February, and it starts building March, April, May, all the way into September and then to Christmas. And then residential service businesses are going to be busier in the summer, landscaper stuff. In garden
Yeah.
centers are really busy right now. It's very interesting. So lots of different things in there that you have to look at. And that really does lead us into the comparison of the data between last month, last week, last year, and comparing keywords that are converting, ad groups that are converting, ads that are converting, campaigns, right? Like what are people doing online? How is your website working? Google Ads is so interesting because you can figure out what's not working. If I'm getting clicks on my ad but I am not getting people filling out a form or doing this or that, then there's something wrong with the landing page because the ad is bringing people, or is it bringing the wrong people? So you got to figure that out. But first and foremost, if they're coming to the page, maybe you have to change the page. And so it is a battle of figuring out the best, most streamlined way to get people to do the action you want between the search engine results pages and your website.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll have to break it down step by step, like how you just did it, where are we even getting impressions? Okay, now we're
Mm,
getting impressions, now we're getting clicks. Okay, we're getting clicks, that means people are clicking on the ad. Are we getting
mm.
conversions? And it's called a funnel for a reason because you're only expected to get 2% each way you go. So
Down. Actually,
98%.
I heard 7%. I heard there's a new number. I was like, ooh, I like that. We'll have to go
I don't
dig
like
deeper
that.
on that. No,
The number's too
and
high.
I like to strive, and so do you. But I think we'll see. I was also going to say, you know what, and it still to this day happens to me, but you create a campaign, and I always put on manual bidding first. And anytime I've ever put it on conversions first, it doesn't start. It doesn't work. It doesn't. So I don't even know. So I always do manual first and then move into the conversion. But that's what I was taught. I don't know. Different ad reps will tell you different things. Oh, I do miss my O'Brien ad rep. That guy was awesome. And
Yeah, a good rep for these organizations is definitely well worth it.
yeah, so if the
I
account's
mean,
spending a lot of money, you do get to talk to the people that are quite skilled in Google Ads, which is really helpful.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Mm.
definitely one where yeah, especially one, of course, the more you spend, the more obviously you're going to get Google like going, hey, wouldn't you
Hey,
like
what
our
are you
help?
doing?
And
Yeah, yeah. And I did
yeah,
like the help. I did. We had great conversations about
yeah,
strategy and the fundamental. And we should mention in this, besides the optimizations, you want to be working with a really good, fundamental, solid account, right? Uh, and there's a lot to that. And it does slightly change over time. Yeah, I would say we're not going into that today. And we do go into that in our course. Oh, that was good. Let's finish this though. So we do the
yeah,
autoplay month over month extensions for performance and site links, right? So there's a lot of
yep,
extra bits and bobs you get to use in Google Ads, and the more you use, the higher, slightly higher the chance that you'll get additional conversions in different ways. You're trying to make your stuff more appealing than the other person's stuff on Google. So there are strategies and tactics and even tricks to help you stand out more. And I think that's what makes a search engine results pages more interesting. I do like to see the little images now in the searches. I don't know if you like those.
yeah. That I think that it's good. It, it's a balancing act as well. That like how much stuff they're going to put on there and how much it's going to crowd out everything else. And I don't know. I think that and Google's playing a game where they're like, oh, we're going to add this, we're going to add these ones. I think that there's been some really good ones. There's also been some ones that are not. I am not liking the lead forms personally. I've found them to be
I
a
they
pain.
don't I we don't use them, do we? Because they don't go like it. Somebody has to be looking at those.
No, the
Um,
account admin. It can't even be an MCC account. You have to be the admin of the account to take them out.
oh, interesting. And it'll probably change over time.
I think that
And
they're not allowed to because there's like restrictions on. It's part of the agreement when you sign up to have this that there's like restrictions on who can take it out for legal reasons, and I'm
and
gonna
that's
wager
fair.
it's GDPR thing. And yeah, it's just one of those. I could just avoid all that by just having a landing page.
And yeah, yeah, it's important to track them, and it's important to figure out how to track them. And the
Yeah,
lead forms have never worked for us. There's other things I've tried that are really interesting. There's the promotion now extension, and there's the location, the call, the site link extension is the call out extensions. There's if you're like you're located in many locations.
yeah,
Um, and there's new things coming out, not all the time. New things come up, like the image extension is really great now. But okay, so we got optimized for hours after site link extensions.
yeah,
And that's just segmenting hours into 4 hour chunks. So you can optimize according to when it's more likely you are going to get a conversion. So that is you set it up today for a strategy down the road when your stuff is working well, and you can make those type of choices. But out of the
yeah,
box, you have to do it because you can't go backwards. So if you want to use hours as part of your strategy, and you can
yeah,
turn on and off the phone call extension, right, which is, I guess, related to hours. So I threw that.
yeah. It's going to be ones where is there someone to man the phone, and then there's no point in having the number as an extension.
Yeah.
So it gives you a lot of ability to be flexible with how people are actually engaging with your ads. And I think that that's going to be super helpful, especially for Google, who's trying to. It's better to set on like a timer so it can predict it as part of the algorithm.
Mm. Yes. Yes, I would agree. And that's why, especially, you were talking about this with display ads, how it's really important there because they'll spend your budget while you're sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, they love like just peeking everything out for 15 minutes at midnight, and then you've got no budget for the rest of the day. They absolutely
Interesting.
love doing that, and it's very annoying. And I've had
Mm.
like some real fails with display campaigns because I didn't know that.
Yeah. And placements too. But display is a whole different story. More on
Yep.
that another day inside the course. Did I mention the course? Did it just launch? Does it need some editing? Yes. But we're really excited because it's happened and we did it
Yeah,
and it was a lot of work and we'll talk about
pain,
it on
sweat,
the
and
weekend.
tears, and
Painstaking. But okay, so we got two more. Optimize for audiences. Oh, we
yeah,
have three more because we added a couple at the end. It's for audiences and observing audiences. So tell me about that because you do that better than I do, I think.
yeah. So the audiences are definitely going to be one that is underused for most ads accounts that kind of give you ways of getting. So you want to observe people at the start and then figure out like what segments of people are coming to you from your ads, and so you can get affinity groups. So that's people that are like home, they're interested in home and gardening. It's things that Google Analytics has aggregated about this person, or like they're going to make like a composite person of Pip, and they know Pip likes gardening stuff, and so that'll be part of your affinity group. But there's
Mm,
also going to be ones like an in market. In market's better than affinity because in market means that you have Googled a keyword related to that topic.
mm-hmm.
So Pip has actually gone out and Googled gardening tools. So we know that she's into gardening and she's ready to start the new gardening season. Okay, so that means that you've intentionally typed in that keyword. So that's it's I would say it's nearly as good as the keyword itself for an audience type.
I would, yeah.
Definitely super powerful stuff to help, especially with, as we talked about, the broad is a lot broader than it should be, and it's audiences when you start
We
targeting
sh-
them,
we
narrow
should
it.
do an optimization strategy with audiences on one of our accounts actually. And all these different optimizations that you can do take place at different times that you're going to be
Yeah,
able to utilize them. So the audience, like, and we were talking about this when we first tried to do the first take of this programmatic advertising, which newspapers will sell, or if you haven't heard that word before, it's basically display advertising. It's programmatic. Google does programmatic, and it's related to affinity audiences and lookalike audiences and similar audiences, which they're getting. Lookalike and similar are the same. One's Facebook, one's Google.
it
Um,
looked like it's Facebook, similar is Google.
Google, and they're getting rid of that. But it's, as you said, somebody types into Google looking for gardening, or
Yeah,
I want to be on CNN, or this person has visited this specific website, right?
yeah.
I
So is
guess,
that
yeah.
person wanting to be on CNN like an anchor, a news anchor? Is that what they?
No, it would be on their website. So they'd have an ad on the website somewhere. They because they don't have an ad, and it would show up because you don't have an ad blocker, or they would force you to unblock your ad blocker because that's one of the ways they make revenue.
Yeah,
Which that is. We do not use it. What is it? The Google paying you like cents on the dollar?
AdSense.
Thank you, AdSense.
Uh,
Yes.
though technically, if it's on like CNN, that's not AdSense. That's DoubleClick.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay, we are not going down that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is a whole kettle of fish.
That was
So,
just minor correction, minor
right,
correction.
right. Okay, okay. So, observation and audiences is our second last one, and implementing enhanced conversions through Tagmanager. So that's you. And then my last one is optimizing for location. But
Uh,
let's do your Tagmanager because that's all I
so
have to say about the optimizing location. Right.
that's fair. It's so just to round out with the tag, so enhanced conversions are definitely really good for Google to get a better view of who's actually coming to your website and converting. And I'm glad we get to do this now because they've moved it in the last 2 days. So
Mhm.
as of time of recording, it is under conversions, and now there's a menu. When you go into the conversions tab on the left hand side, you're looking for settings, and in there you actually turn on enhanced conversions.
Okay, so tell me again. Paint me a picture.
So
I've
you
closed
go
my
into
eyes. I've logged into Google Ads.
you've logged into Google Ads, you go to tools and settings,
Okay,
you
top
look for
tools and settings, wrench icon.
top right hand corner horizontal menu,
I
and
click
then
it.
you're on tools and settings, and then from there you're going to look for measurement column. It's in the middle,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're looking for the first option, conversions.
Yep.
From there, you've opened up all the conversions. There's now a menu on the left hand side running
Yeah, I
vertically.
never use that menu. I always go down the
It
main
just
part of the screen.
it Yeah, and so now it just got created. That's why.
I like closing my eyes and visualizing it. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Like I
And
feel
so
at
yeah,
home.
there'll be one tab called settings, and so
Mm.
that settings tab is where all that's located.
Okay, so yeah, that's funny because I guess I don't do that yet. But so you have to have access to Tagmanager because you were telling me about that was inside Google Ads,
Yeah.
and this is enhanced conversions through Tagmanager. So
Tagmanager is the one collecting the data to send back to ads.
okay, so that's where I would go to set this up, and would I have to log into Tagmanager as well?
Yes, and Google Ads lays out all the instructions for what you have to do inside of that tab.
Yes, and is it easy, hard?
It actually wasn't. Yeah, it was of all the things I've done with Google Ads and conversion tracking, that was relatively easy because all the conversion tracking was already done through Tag Manager, which you should do because it's a really smart way to deploy all this stuff. And these tools are
Why?
built to work together.
Yes, they are built to work together. I think that's what I got asked on the call today when I showed the measure setup. It was so it's all connected, right? And I was like, yes, actually, it's all connected and interconnected. And I
Yeah.
will go double check that, which now we can and feel super. Anyway, I'm so excited about where we are at in our company and where we're going. But that I think so. That is it. There are other optimizations you can do. There are things. There's more to do, but I think this is a great starting point for. I think we're going to save this. We're going to share it a lot, maybe with our team and with people in our membership as well, because I think this, and we're going to make a checklist out of this. And I is it Aaron Young? I'll give him a plug. But Aaron Young, I didn't like his checklist because he did every 2 days and every 72 hours and blah, blah. And it is correct. I would just maybe do it differently. So I have downloaded his thing and I would just work on it. But that's because we're all different. We all work
Yeah.
differently. So
Yeah.
different types of checklists work better than others for different people. Anyway, on that note, let's get out of here. I really like doing it this way. I think this is fun. How about
Yeah. I
you?
think
I'm like, you better
worked out
say
pretty well.
yes. Okay. Thank you for coming out, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Yes. Bye.